MICKEYMOULP. Well, hello there, fellow Mouseketeers. It's me, Gabrielwingue, back again for more Mickey Mania, and this time we're doing the Mad Doctor, which was created in 1933. As a Mickey Mouse influence, it's actually a big one. It was the first Mickey Mouse cartoon to be banned in some theaters to show it wasn't played. It was also the inspiration to a Mickey Mouse comeback cartoon when Mickey Mouse made his roaring comeback in the late 80s, early 90s with Runaway Brain, which was, I think it was released in 1990. I'll double check that. Let's start with the Mad Doctor. Everything in this level, by the way, is referential to the cartoon, and if you watch the cartoon you'll notice like every single reference, the skeletons, everything. The cleaver and the knife falling from the wall. Whole 9 yards, all there. Now, as for the cartoon itself, first off I mentioned it was the first one to be banned. Reason why? It's a horror cartoon. It's kind of scary. It's my personal favorite. But even now, nearing 20, I know that it's frightening as hell. It's about a mad doctor, Dr. Triple X, Dr. Pornography, I guess. I don't know. Dr. Triple X, who's trying to put Pluto's head on the body of a chicken. Pluto gets kidnapped, Mickey goes to chase him, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Mickey goes through a crazy adventure in his mansion. Now, the only reason we're given for the crazy mad doctor person to want to mangle Pluto is that he wants to know if he puts Pluto's head on a chicken, will the eggs it lays give birth to dogs, chickens, or a mix of the two. That's the only reason we get. So it's actually kind of freaky. And he says it in rhyme, and for some reason when creepy people say things in rhyme, it's just buh. Mickey goes through a big crazy sequence of events, exploring the mansion, and eventually winds up on the operating table to be sawed in half, only to wake up. The entire thing is a dream, and Pluto is alive and well. By this point in Mickey Mouse cartoon time, Mickey Mouse had a voice. The mascot was in fact voiced by the figurehead. Walt Disney did the voice of Mickey Mouse at the beginning. From that, Mickey Mouse has constantly had several voice actors, and I'll get to them as we get into their respective eras in the game. Yeah. So, the horror overtones it's actually kind of unusual for a Mickey Mouse cartoon. If you look back nowadays, he's done a few horror-based things now, and horror is no longer, or at least comical horror, is no longer like taboo for Disney. They do lots of it. Oh, this clock, right. I stop here at the clock because the clock's my favorite reference in the entire cartoon. You can't tell it there, but the pendulum is actually a skull. And instead of it going tick-tock when it goes back and forth, the jaw of the skull closes to make the ticks. The ticks and the tock sounds, and I love that. Okay, back on track here to finish this off so I can move on to Runaway Brain. Mickey, it's a dream, and yeah, it was banned because of the horror overtones, and horror overtones is now no longer taboo for Disney. They do it lots, and in fact they usually do it comically, but I think it was the fact that this one was taken seriously that bothered so many people. Luckily, its influences were not forgotten, as it influenced Runaway Brain in the early 90s, I believe. Now, Runaway Brain is about a mad scientist who wants to take Mickey's, I guess, I don't know, the logic or whatever out of Mickey's brain and put it into his monster's brain, so that his monster can be both monstrous and smart. What actually happens is there's a complete transfer of brains. Mickey winds up in the monster's body, and the monster Jarius winds up in Mickey's body. Jarius opens Mickey's wallet, finds a picture of Minnie, falls in love with Minnie, kidnaps Minnie. Mickey saves Minnie. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty much Runaway Brain, in a lot less detail than the actual cartoon. I've never seen Runaway Brain myself. I now kind of want to. but I never actually got the chance to. This is the moving on to this is a level. This level is really unfair. Everything hurts you. The bones hurt you. Skulls hurt you. Baths, acid, saws. Everything hurts you. Everything in this level is designed to be painful. And I criticize this game for putting the levels in chronological order and not order of difficulty, which is what you should do when you make a game. Order of difficulty. Whatever. This is kind of like the puzzle section for the level. And someone correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I thought that if you mixed red, green, and blue, you wound up with brown or black. When you beat this puzzle, for some reason, you wind up with lavender. Though someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I always thought that you wound up with brown. Now, this wasn't the only notable cartoon to come out in the 30s. There were tons of notable Mickey Mouse cartoons come out in the 30s. The Band Concert and Moose Hunters being two more that we'll see here. Now, as for the Mad Doctor, in the game they actually kept the Mad Doctor to his design in the actual cartoon, which I thought was kind of cool. I love the little blackboard there where it says chicken plus dog divided by saw. I'm sorry, something about that just makes me laugh. But yeah, despite the fact that it was banned in many theaters because they were afraid it would scare the children it was, it was targeted towards, this has had a big impact on Disney history. If it weren't for this, we wouldn't have any of the comical horror that Disney puts out today, because someone made it, and then in the 90s, when people were beginning to lighten up a little bit, someone picked it up and made something from it. So a lot of the Disney comedy horror that you see now, you can pretty much thank the Mad Doctor for. Boss is hard to kill. He's just terrible. Oh my god, I hate him. But there's a lot of health power-ups, the stars, in the fight, so it's actually not that bad. But there you go. Well done. Mickey has defeated the Mad Doctor and rescued Pluto. The cartoon will, of course, be in the playlist for you guys. Check it out, Mouseketeers.